Today is Friday, August 7th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are on There's a Solution. We'll be reading page 27. Out of the 12 and 12, we are on step 4. We'll read page 49. And of course, read NA's just for today and Al-Anon's Courage to Change. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this beautiful Friday morning, my friends. Hey, it's Friday. We made it. We made it. Another work week down. Life is truly good over here. Back in the swing of the school year. Our kiddos come back next Tuesday. But, you know, we're gearing up all the meetings. I'm in a new district and new staff this new school this year. But I feel like I'm right where I need to be. I'm excited. My classroom's about ready. Been praying for the students, and man, I'm fired up. But I'm getting ahead of myself because it's just Friday. So let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading, we've been getting a demonstration of a man who had talked to Dr. Jung, I believe it was. And Dr. Jung gave him the prognosis that, hey, he's in bad shape. He asked for the whole truth and he got it. In the doctor's judgment, he was utterly hopeless. He could never regain his position in society. And he would have to place himself under lock and key or hire a bodyguard if he expected to live long. But the man still lives. He does not need a bodyguard, nor is he confined. He can go anywhere on this earth where other free men may go without disaster, provided he remains willing to maintain a certain simple attitude. And we're going to expand on that attitude today. So we're on page 27. Some of our alcoholic readers may think that they can do without spiritual help. Let us tell you the rest of the conversation our friend had with his doctor. The doctor said, "You have the mind of a chronic alcoholic. I've never seen a single case recover where that state of mind existed to the extent that it does in you." Our friend had felt that the gates of hell had closed on him with a clang. He said to the doctor, "Is there no exception?" "Yes," replied the doctor, "there is. Exceptions to cases such as yours have been occurring since early times. Here and there, once in a while, alcoholics have had what are called vital spiritual experiences. To me, these occurrences are phenomena. They appear to be in the nature of huge emotional displacements and rearrangements. Ideas and emotions and attitudes which were once guiding forces for the lives of these men are suddenly cast to one side, and a completely new set of conceptions and motives begin to dominate them. In fact, I've been trying to produce some such emotional rearrangement within you. With many individuals, the methods which I employ are successful, but I've never been successful with an alcoholic of your description." Upon hearing this, our friend was somewhat relieved, for he reflected that, after all, he was a good church member. This hope, however, was destroyed by the doctors telling him that while his religious convictions were very good, in his case, they did not spell the necessary vital spiritual experience. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. And yesterday we talked about pride. When the satisfaction of our instincts for sex, security, and society becomes the sole object of our lives, then pride steps in to justify our excesses. So today we're going to talk about fear. So we're on page 49. All these feelings generate fear, a soul sickness in its own right. Then fear in turn generates more character defects. Unreasonable fear that our instincts will not be satisfied drives us to covet the possessions of others, to lust for sex and power, to become angry when our instinctive demands are threatened, to be envious when the ambitions of others seem to be realized while ours are not, We eat, drink, and grab for more of everything than we need, fearing we shall never have enough. And with genuine alarm at the prospect of work, we stay lazy. We loaf and procrastinate, or at best, work grudgingly and under half steam. These fears are the termites that ceaselessly devour the foundations of whatever sort of life we try to build. So when AA suggests a fearless moral inventory, it must seem to every newcomer that more is being asked of him than he can do. Both his pride and his fear beat him back every time he tries to look within himself. Pride says, "You need not pass this way," and fear says, "You dare not look." But the testimony of AAs who have really tried a moral inventory is that pride and fear of this sort turn out to be boogeymen, nothing else. Once we have a complete willingness to take inventory and exert ourselves to do the job thoroughly, a wonderful light falls upon this foggy scene. As we persist, a brand new kind of confidence is born, and the sense of relief at finally facing ourselves is indescribable. These are the first fruits of step 4. NA just for today, August 7th, the gratitude list. We focus on anything that isn't going our way and ignore all the beauty in our lives. Basic text, page 80. It's easy to be grateful when everything runs smoothly. If we get a raise at work, we're grateful. If we get married, we're grateful. If someone surprises us with a nice present or an unasked favor, we're grateful. But if we get fired, divorced, or disappointed, gratitude flies out the window. We find ourselves becoming obsessed with the things that are wrong, even though everything else might be wonderful. This is where we can use a gratitude list. We sit down with a pen and paper and list some of the people for whom we're grateful. We all have people who supported us through life's upheavals. We list the spiritual assets that we have attained, for we know that we can never make it through our present circumstances without them. Last but not least, we list our recovery itself. Whatever we have that we are grateful for goes on the list. We are sure to find that we have literally hundreds of things in our lives that inspire our gratitude. Even those of us who are suffering from an illness or have lost all material wealth will find blessings of a spiritual nature for which you can be thankful. An awakening of the spirit is the most valuable gift an addict can receive. Just for today, I will write a list of things, both material and spiritual, for which I am grateful. Al-Anon's Courage to Change, August 7th. I've heard my Al-Anon friends refer to steps 10, 11, and 12 as maintenance steps. But I don't want to merely maintain where I was when I completed step 9. There is no time to stagnate. Instead, I call them growth steps. No matter how old I get, these last 3 steps let me continue to challenge myself. I tested this theory of mine when my spouse and I retired. I have more time now to meddle in others' affairs, worry about our health, worry about finances, worry about world conditions. Or to put it bluntly, just more time to go back to my old stinking thinking. But with the help of these steps, I find I also have more time to be aware of the extraordinary benefits of personal growth, with my higher power ever there to guide me and give me strength. Only with this increasing conscious contact with my God can I live as I want to today. The icing on the cake has been that I have more time to carry the message of this beautiful way of life. Some of my most pleasant memories, not to mention the times of greatest growth, have come from this sharing with others, and in giving service to my group and to Al-Anon as a whole. Today's reminder: With the help of the steps, I need never be stuck again. Be not afraid of growing slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. Chinese proverb. All right, my friends, beautiful stuff today. My goodness. And it's all stuff I needed to hear. Go figure. So real quick out of the 12 and 12, going back to fear and pride real quick. I love the bottom paragraph of page 49. So when AA suggests a fearless moral inventory, it must seem that to every newcomer that more is being asked of him than he can do. Both pride and his fear beat him back every time he tries to look within himself. Pride says you need not pass this way. Fear says you dare not look. But the testimony of AAs who really tried a moral inventory is that pride and fear of this sort turn out to be boogeymen, nothing else. I will say this, my friends, at least in my experience, this has definitely been true. I remember when I did my moral inventory, I was so afraid. And I was afraid of what other people would think of me. It was kind of a combination. I was afraid of step 4 and 5 because I'd never gotten this honest with another human being before. But when I was writing my inventory, I knew I had to be honest. I was desperate enough to be like, no, I can't. Half measures avail me nothing. I have to go at least write down everything that I can think of that's bothering me, even the most uncomfortable and unpleasant stuff. But I was afraid. Real quick story, I think I've said this before. I wasn't much of a student growing up, but in 6th grade, I wrote a graduation speech, and I was somehow chosen out of all the 6th graders. There was about 4 or 5 kids chosen to speak during 6th grade's graduation of our elementary school. And even though I had rehearsed it, my fear, the anticipation leading up to it, it was killing me. But I remember specifically, my mom said, "Hey, I'll tell you what," because she knew I was nervous. I think it was my mom's idea. My birthday's in June, and she's like, I'll tell you what, after you do the speech, we'll go ahead and get you an early birthday present. And there was a video game I really wanted at the time. So I kept my eyes on that, right? I'm like, okay, if I can just do this, even though I'm terrified, I'll be okay. So the funny thing is, even though all that anxiousness and everything leading up to the speech was awful, I remember specifically walking up to the podium, and I had my speech in my hand, and I'm looking out at all the parents and all the kids in the audience. And all of a sudden, this calmness rushed over me. And I got through the speech, and it really wasn't that bad. Just like the reading says here. Turns out that this pride and fear turn out to be boogeymen, nothing else. Once we've had a complete willingness to take the inventory and exert ourselves to do the job thoroughly, a wonderful light falls upon the foggy scene. As we persist, a brand new kind of confidence is born. I remember when I finished that speech, I walked back to my little spot in the on the stage, and all my buddies are high-fiving me, even people I barely know. And I remember thinking, man, that was not near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Most of that was fear in my head, trying to paralyze me. But I learned 2 things from that experience. One is that, hey, there was a reward on the other side of it. That video game, right? Just like there's a reward on the other side of these steps, and that is peace and a spiritual experience and sobriety. And 2, that this fear, all these things were really in my head. And throughout life, 90% of the things, that false evidence appearing real, 90% of the things that I was afraid of don't ever happen. And the 10% that do, well, I've got steps to deal with that. And I've got a fellowship that I can go to help me carry whatever that is. How blessed am I, you know? And I could not talk about the NA reading. So real quick, I know we're running up on time, talking about gratitude. Being grateful in the hard times. We find ourselves becoming obsessed with the things that are wrong, even though everything else might be wonderful. This is where we can use the gratitude list. We sit down with a pen and paper and list the people for whom we are grateful. We all have people who've supported us through life's upheavals. We list the spiritual assets we've attained, for we know that we can never make it through our present circumstances without them. Last but not least, we list our recovery itself. Whatever we have that we are grateful for goes on the list. I have some homework to do today. Because if I am being honest, which I'm definitely trying to be, with these job changes in the last couple of months, and also it affects our children as well. They have to go to a new school. Meeting a whole new group of people, working with a whole new staff, and I've gotten in my head a little bit. And that old stinking thinking that Courage to Change talks about, of my self-talk, starts to kick in. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to fit in with this group. I don't know if I have what it takes here. All that stuff started to creep in. And then I start beating myself up, going, man, I'm not sure that you're going to. It's all fear-driven, too. I'm not sure that you're going to fit in with this team and all these things. It's all fear, false evidence appearing real again. But let me do a quick gratitude right now. I'm sober today. I get to do this podcast, and the great thing is, I know I'm not alone. I know there's a couple of you that listen and that reach out, and that means more to me than you know. It's a beautiful reminder I'm not alone in this lifeboat of recovery. I've got a fellowship I go to, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a week. I've got about 5 or 6 really tried and true friends. I've got a beautiful wife who loves me for me. I've got an amazing son who is one of the most creative, incredible people I've ever known. I've got an amazing daughter who is literally the life of the party, who will dance in front of the TV and get me out of my shell and make me dance with her. And she's the extrovert in a house of introverts. I've got my fur balls. I've got so many things to be thankful for. I've got my health. Man, I told this story not too long ago. My poor cousin, she's literally 1 month younger than me. And she went through a very, very serious cancer scare. And she's rightfully, and not completely understandably, she's still afraid that it's going to come back. I'm grateful for her, and I'm grateful for my own health. And I'm grateful for the fact that if something does happen to me, where I'm inflicted with something like that as well, the luck of the draw, right? Then I can look back on my life and hopefully say there was a life well lived. And hopefully, whenever that day comes that I hit those pearly gates, there's no alcohol in my breath. So many things to be thankful for. The student letters that I've received. I'm already feeling better just listing these things off. And bottom line is, I'm thankful for, and so that gets me out of myself, that gratitude, right? But then a dear friend of mine would always say, hey, gratitude can also be an action. Okay? Because without action, gratitude is just a pleasant emotion. So how can I show my gratitude today? There's some more homework for me. I'm going to try to be of service the best that I can. But guys, I have rambled way over. I am so sorry. I hope you have a great one today. As always, please know I do not speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect or denomination. I never even want to come close to speak on behalf of those I have too much respect for. the traditions and everything like that. These are just my own personal experiences, and, you know, I'm just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery. But my friends, if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.